So we aren't in beach attire anymore.
Sadly, we're in sweaters and blankets.
Yeah, but it's beautiful outside here in Reno, Nevada. We are. What we wanted to do was follow up. This is part three of the meeting, the business meeting that we had at the Hunter Douglas travel thingy. Anyway.
Meeting. This isn't going very.
But it's live. So what we want to talk about is something that is probably one of the reasons that we're a little hesitant on this. Is it's not an easy conversation to have about the CPSA, Consumer Protection Services Agency, I think.
Yes.
And they have an organization that is very interested in safety, child safety in this case, and how it equates to the industry in general. And as you know, since 2014, Kempler Design has made a point of not selling corded products because we recognized then when the CPSA came out and started coming up with regulations, we decided right there, we're going to make a stand. But there are some things that are going on that we just want to discuss. And I'm going to get to this point right now, right off the bat. The regulations that are involved right now could have a dramatic impact on the entire industry. And it also is a major consideration too that all of the manufacturers are saying, please support us and reach out to, they have a link that is available. So if you're a dealer, go to the link that was given to you and consider putting your information into the regulation authorities to say, hey, if you do this, this is the reaction. I don't want to get into what the reaction is because that's up to you personally, but it's pretty real. So
Well, there's a need to be safe, to be sure.
Mhm.
And I saw a funny animal video, and it had memes and videos about animals getting in these various positions and predicaments. And it had a cat that was hanging upside down by its tail wrapped around the cord of the blind. And that was meant to be humorous, but it's also, that must have been awfully painful for the poor animal. And so these animals get caught up in it. But more importantly, children get caught up in it, and that's why there's a real need to be safe. So there is a need, but this is an aggressive action that's being taken place. So I think we need to address why the public needs to get involved in the manufacturer side.
Yeah, good. I appreciate that. And in the past, I remember in 2014 when they laid out the initial mandates, they said that about one child a month in the United States was being strangled. And if it were my child, that would be the most serious thing that ever happened. So we don't want to take that lightly. Is it correct to take the level of regulation that they're putting on things based on that?
So what is the cord restriction?
Okay, good question. So, like, for example, right now, they're taking this effect in Canada. It's already taken effect in March of 2022. And so your cord, if it's hanging down at its longest length, can be 8 inches. So if you are short, for example, and you want to reach the cord,
You bet. And then it brings us to the other safety question. Do I use a step ladder? Because step ladders are not safe either.
a
So
lot more people are injured falling off of step ladders than from cords, that's for
seriously.
sure, yeah. Okay, and then the other thing is that they want to address this for the entire industry. And of course, you're thinking, well, that's not that big of a deal because there are cordless varieties and
Correct.
motorization. But you made a comment on
Well, yeah, we have a drop-down, bottom-up shade that is
top down, bottom up.
so
You called it drop down, bottom
top.
up.
Well, it drops from the top.
Yes, yeah, no, it's
Well,
good.
however I said. So he's the expert. So I said, well, we're covered because you could just do cordless with the handle and raise it up and down, and then the bottom rail also does that. So
Is that true?
I believe so. I don't know, so I'm confused on that.
Yeah, and fair enough. That's why we have to make sure that we truly understand this. Any exposed cords are going to be what they call not doable. So, for example, that 8-inch cord, that's the maximum amount of cord that is going to be available. So, if you have a drop down, bottom up shade, or as it's otherwise known, top down, bottom up, and you have your top rail. Let's just consider that here at the top. That's where the rail is. And then you have the cords that hang down, and the middle rail drops like this. So now you have those cords. Guess what? You can't have that anymore. So they're talking about eliminating top down, bottom up from all
So it
window
gets
treatments.
personal. It
Ah.
gets personal because this is a very popular style shade to have. It's very
Mhm.
practical and it affords privacy while you can still look out your window and get the
Mhm.
light. So it is a nice shade to have. So if it eliminates that, that's sort of a change. That's a big change in all of our lives.
Yeah. Another thing that was a big deal is how many of you have blinds, just regular horizontal blinds. In Canada, as of right now, the blinds can only be stacked all the way at the top, or they can be all the way down and locked at the bottom. They can't be part way. They have to be all the way up or all the way down in order to make sure that the regulations are established.
So who knew there would be blind police? I mean, how are you going to get in trouble if?
I think the point here is that regulation is they're trying to take over as far as how things are done. And I will say this, the industries that we work in have been very aggressive about making sure that child safety has been covered, and this is taking it to a whole nother degree. I believe that the manufacturers also have the ability to overcome all of these things by making necessary adjustments, but it's supposed to take place October of 2022. And if those things just come down like this, the ability to get things done from right now to October are pretty much zero.
So what can the people do? What are you asking them?
I'm not asking you to do anything, but the manufacturers are asking you to go to the CPSA sites. And like I said, I don't want to create a link, but just look for new window covering regulations. And if you have an opinion on this, please feel free to share it. Not necessarily with us, but with those who are doing the regulations. So that was a major focal point of the business meeting. And we're going to see where it goes with all that. But I just wanted you to be aware of it if you missed it. And anyway, we've taken a lot of your time to talk about this important thing. But the next time that we meet, we're going to talk about fun things. So thanks for watching the Kempler Design Vlog.